As I'm writing my paper and analyzing the data on my action research about self-assessments, I've definitely learned a lot about using these as a tool in the classroom. So over my 3-week action research period, I used 6 different self-assessment tools with my students in the classroom. And I had sort of a progression of how involved the assessments were, from kind of simple ticket out the doors all the way up to self-reflection about how they did on an assignment and several things in between. The format of the 6 different tools vary between complete free response to agree, disagree, checklist statements. And so it was interesting when I was analyzing the results after the action research period that there was definitely, I saw a difference between the types of information I was able to gather from free response versus agree, disagree. The self-assessment I really enjoyed the most looking at from the students and feel like I got the most out of as far as thinking about what they were getting out of my instruction was the minute paper that they wrote. I was very impressed with all the information that they had retained from the period, and I could see this really, out of all the 6 tools I used, probably the one that I would go back to in the future and revisit more and definitely use as an instructional tool, because I really got to see them put into their own words what they understood, and I also was able to see some possible misconceptions that they had about the content. And so I think this is definitely an important tool to use when you are reflecting about how students are doing in the classroom, because it really did give some insight into what they picked out from the entire period was most important was actually not at all what I would have picked out as the most important information. So I feel like that the free response types of self-assessments were give you definitely more authentic information, and it's more qualitative in nature. It's not anything that you can really add up and give percentages and things like that. On the other hand, the agree and disagree self-assessments do allow you to kind of have a little more mathematical approach and quantitative approach to the data. So certainly both of them are useful, and I think that I can see a purpose for using some of them in some situations in the classroom, and definitely others are more beneficial in other situations. So stay tuned for more reflections on my action research project.